Welcome to Ancestral Voices We Belong. So happy to have you back. And I'm really hoping that you'll be super excited to see my awesome guest, Jessa Sky, who's sitting with us today. And we're going to have a little fireside chat about who she is, where she comes from, what inspires her, and what she does in her life, because she has a lot of activities going on. Not to mention, she's super beautiful inside and out. Welcome, Jessa.
Hi,
so
Tânse.
Happy to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Tânse to you too.
Tânse.
Do you want to explain Tânse?
Yes. So I am Métis Cree, originally from Treaty 8 territory. So my mom is from Fort McMurray First Nation. She's an elder out there on the reserve. And so I was born in Fort McMurray, Alberta, and I moved around a lot, but I'm based now in Treaty 6. So Tânse is hello in Cree. It's like a greeting. And I don't know my whole language. I have a tutor, actually, who's my friend. And when I have like a second in this busy schedule of mine, I try to catch up with him. But it's kind of just a greeting, an endearment to just welcome a conversation. And I might not know the whole language, but, I think I'm learning and I'm trying. And that's what matters. So
to learn how to greet each other in a good way is important, right?
Yes.
In my language, we say "anin bojo," "anin bojo." It means my spirit recognizes your spirit. It's kind of a translation of recognizing that your spirit being first.
Yes.
In a meat suit.
We're in a meat suit. This is just a vessel. Thank goodness this ain't forever.
And it has an expiry date.
It does.
Right. Yeah. So we greet each other in those good ways, remembering that we're body, mind, and spirit, and really trying to connect not only who we are, but our ancestors.
Yes.
Right. And our descendants. So coming from Fort McMurray, and they struggled a few years ago.
Yes.
You had the terrible fires and everything was destroyed. Did your family lose their belongings?
My mom and dad didn't want me and my brother going up there. Just the high, money, speed chase type thing of that environment. So we actually moved when I was a baby, and we went to Cold Lake and then Calgary and then Edmonton area, and that's where I kind of grew up. But my auntie actually, she's on Beacon Hill, and it was one of the only houses that remained, one of very few. So I just got goosebumps because anyone in my intimate, they didn't lose anything. My part to anyone that did lose, it seems like it's happening everywhere, every single year. And it's I can't imagine. I can definitely empathize, and I'm very empathetic. Yeah. So when people go through that, it's tough. But luckily,
my dad worked up there. I think, is it mining? That is the big industry
oil,
there?
Yes,
oil.
A lot of oil.
He worked in
gas.
the oil fields.
Yes.
Running one of those big rigs.
Yes, that's what my auntie did.
Yeah?
Yes, she just retired actually. So she was a heavy equipment operator in the big one. So I'm like, go women.
Women can do anything.
Seriously. And I think we can do it a little bit better. Just saying, that's my own bias. Love you all to the men and free spirits, but
so I would love listeners to get to know you and a little bit of not only your background. We know where you come from. We know what language you speak. But in your formative years growing up, what kind of tugged at you most? Did you have an idea as a young person where you wanted to go and what you wanted to? I mean, you're still young to me, but
I'm almost 30 and I have 8 gray hairs. So
I was counting.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's a really good question. Thank you for asking that. I always wanted to be a singer. Well, I didn't think that would ever happen, but
even as a young person?
Yes, I actually the stool that I sit on that is now Jessa Sky blue. I have everything's usually blue, but I decided to wear a different outfit today. Was the stool I would sit in my room and sing in my room, and that didn't really click, but for some reason we kept that chair, and so every time I perform, when I'm able to travel with my band and my team, I bring that stool and I sit on it. So it's kind of cool, but it was more so just my way of escaping what I was going through as a child, and just kind of felt very lost identity. I didn't fit in with the Native people in my culture. I didn't fit in with the white people, and so I just had this lost identity, and I didn't know who I was till I started to find that Red Road healing journey in 2018. But
and how old were you then?
2018. I would have been 22.
Right. So you're just entering the wandering stage, they say, you know, because every 7 years you enter a different stage, culturally speaking, and you start expressing and exploring yourself in a different way. And that idea of not belonging or, not quite fitting in is really what Ancestral Voices is highlighting and celebrating, because the intersectionality of who we are and our identities are very much, the expectations, we're going to slot it into a certain kind of hole, and that's where you belong and only there. But if you have biracial a background, and you want to honor both sides of 100%. Who and what made you. Yes. How do you find that? And I find the arts is one of the spaces and places that people gravitate towards. Yeah,
that's very good. Like, what's the word? Perspective on that, because I think for me now, 29-year-old Métis Cree woman who is in the public eye and who does multi things like singing, keynote speaking, advocacy, that had to come from a place of pain. And I think when I started to really do that self-awareness and self-identity and looked inward, and I realized that, all I have control of is who I am. And so for years, I kind of walked around this world with no self-awareness, kind of just in survival mode. So when I started to really have this, I call it the aha moment, where I realized, who am I? And I kind of realized, especially going through, what's the word? A lot of self-deprecation, I guess. I kind of realized, I kept ending up in the same spot for years, blaming other people, when really I had that humility moment where I was like, I'm the problem. And that was kind of a freeing moment where I realized that I had to take accountability for my own life. And so I got to realize, all my character defects or who I am. And now 3.5 years later, it's I love the woman I am today, and I'm very self-aware. So if someone's saying something online, or if I can instantly see it's nothing to do with me. It's their own pain or their own, I'm triggering something inside of them. And so it took a lot of years of not knowing who I was to kind of really, pain's a good motivator to find out who you are. And so I found that out through my culture, going to ceremony and sweat lodge and learning the 7 teachings and learning one of my favorite quotes is, I thought the world was judging me by my intentions, but they were judging me by my actions. So, I had all these good intentions all the time, but my actions weren't making sense with what I wanted. So I really try to show up and keep integrity. And when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it.
And you do. And you do.
Thank you.
You show
maybe
up
not all the time.
100%, but you show up.
Yeah.
I think I love that you've taken ownership of your own power, because you're the hub of the wheel in your life.
Yes.
You're who you're going to live with from the beginning to the end. And if you don't find a place of recognition and self-esteem and you said self-awareness, how can you possibly navigate your life walk, right? You're just bouncing around like a ping pong ball. And I think in our work and in our way of life, we often look to the wisdom of those that came before us. And I love that quote. Mm-hmm. I love the way the quote resonates and how it's helped to direct your life. Mm-hmm. So you knew as a young person you wanted to sing.
Yes.
And you found it cathartic for struggles and whatever. Mm-hmm. And we know in this country, we've experienced cultural genocide, and we know that it continues. Yep. And we know the intergenerational effects can be direct or indirect. But in my mind, it is directed, by a colonial mindset.
I'm a first-gen survivor. My mom was in residential schools. So even just, sorry to continue, but it's totally it's
important.
Yeah, it's kind of
because there are living people here today from residential school, and people think it's so long ago.
1996 was the last one. I was born in 95, to preface, right? So it's kind of crazy.
And I didn't go either. I'm well, it's a big secret in my family, what happened and who it happened to. And I'm just starting to hear little trickles, and it's always a bit jolting.
It is.
We know that it happened, but I saw online a quote that said, all of us are descendants of residential school survivors. And this is 100% truth.
Well, just like you said, our ancestors and who were here before us are all a part of our spirit, right?
Yeah.
So Yeah. And I actually learned that from you when I had met you and we were doing the sponge ceremony. It was like, oh my gosh, like I never thought of it that way. And that's why I think we feel things so deeply. And, you know, again, it was a secret of my family too. My mom chose not to talk about it. My mom chose to not be a victim. My mom chose to love everyone. And I grew up in such a beautiful household. And, you know, that's her. I'm not going to press for questions because it's done. What doesn't matter. But it's like she's the most amazing woman ever. Right. And so it's a deep, deep seated wound that some people don't want to talk about, and they don't need to talk about it, right? And
time will
do it. Yeah.
Time will kind of direct you through that journey. So let's get back to who Jessa is, and knowing that she wanted to be a singer, but also a public speaker.
Yeah,
public speaking is one of the greatest fears on earth. People are terrified to stand in front of others and speak. And I was a very painfully introverted, shy individual.
Same.
And now I talk to people all the time.
Yeah.
But you know what I found? Because I thought about how and why I do that. And I know my world, I know my experience, and I know that I have something that can help another. For you, what motivates you to public speak? And what do you speak on?
Yeah, that's such a good question. And I love that. Honestly, it kind of happened organically. So I started, you know, when I started doing that journey, like behind the scenes of self-awareness, I started to post everything online. And I've kind of been through everything under the sun, you know, pregnancy loss, grief and loss, addiction, mental health, suicide, a bunch of plethora of things, you know, sexual violence, sexual abuse. So as I was healing, I realized I had this moment where I was like, what is all of this for if it can't help someone else? So like I find the purpose in the pain is to help someone else going through it, because at like a soul level and a spirit level, we know there's no greater or worse trauma. And I find the most incredible thing is able to make someone feel less alone. So my healing process was talking about things online that I was going through, and then writing songs, deep. Actually, a song today just came out called Grieving. It's about my partner I'd lost to suicide. And so that came out today. And like, it's such an honor I can share it with the world. And feel so safe to do so. Like the people that support me online make me feel so safe. And I think also with public speaking, you know, I do a lot of keynote speaking for Indigenous youth. I'm a retired social worker, a child and youth care worker. And it kind of just happened organically. If I wasn't doing music, I would 100% be fighting for those little kids that I got to work with. And it was hard to quit. But I found I could help more people pursuing this full time. And so I'll go to different reservations and basically, what is the greatest need here? Is it confidence? Is it connection? Is it mentorship? And you know, I kind of talk to the people there. What do you need from me to give these kids? Because I don't know about you, the shy introverted that you had touched on. I was so quiet. I thought I was worth nothing. And now I go, shut the heck up. And I see myself in those kids, you know, the shy little Native girl.
Yes.
That was me you know, and I had no one that looked like me growing up that I could like be like, oh my gosh, like, you know, so it's just one person, if I can help one person, you know, like I asked my mom, how did you make it out? Like, how did you make it out of like, how come you're such a fearless, like you love everyone, you pray for everyone at night. Her and my dad like will hold hands and pray for it's like a 20-minute prayer. And I'm like, gosh, you guys are so selfless. And she said she had one school teacher that said she loved her. And that's what she
just
remembers.
Takes one, the power of one.
Yes, seriously. So
when I do my public speaking, I always say I want to change the world one heart at a time.
Yes.
And it's not about being humble. It's about being real.
Yes.
And really relating to never seeing anybody like me.
Yes.
I never saw strong, confident, Indigenous women who spoke the truth.
Yes.
Unapologetically.
Yes.
And held up space.
Yeah.
You know, just held that space.
It was always a negative thing. Like it was like dim your light, or if you speak up, you're, you know, the curse word, or like it was always like this negative, like you can't be proud of who you are, is how it was for me. And it was like,
so and you're the next generation down from me.
Yes.
And I have children, you know, around your age, and I didn't want them to be wallflowers or silenced or invisible.
Yes.
And my children are of mixed ancestry, and they've always struggled. You're not this enough, and you're not that enough. So you can't come here, and you can't be here, and you can't be a part of that, and you don't represent that. And I remember when I was trying to explore how we want to fit in. Everybody wants to fit in somewhere, and outwardly, we sometimes need that validation of our inward value and gifting, and I don't know, just acknowledgement.
Yes.
And so I
just you
never
matter.
felt that. So I just claimed it.
Yeah, same. I
just said, I'm going to speak up and speak out, speak my truth. Yeah. And then,
that's so
slowly you
small
find
little victories
that people relate to you, and they give you some feedback. It's like, that really helped me. And you're thinking, I didn't know that you needed that, but this was my truth.
Yes.
So my truth can be your truth, can be our truth, and we're all strengthened from that.
Totally. I think authenticity, you can't, that's a different vibration. And I think when, I always tell everyone, all of us can win. And if you're true to yourself and you're authentic, people will feel that. And that's why I think people gravitate toward you, to me, the people, because, someone else is already taken. And I think, like you said, you never know who you're going to help by being your truth. And
there's enough room for each one of us
to
do this work. Where do you get your inspiration from today?
Oh my gosh.
I know you draw a lot on your lived life experiences, but how else do you get inspiration? Where do you put yourself in the position of, I need to freshen up a little bit, reset, renew?
Yeah. Honestly, my JS angels, I call them as my fans, the people that are die hard. I might only have maybe 100 of them, but those ones show up for me and they support me. And I'll read a DM where someone's like, I didn't want to wake up tomorrow, but what you just shared. And those little and I like to look at one day at a time. Sometimes yesterday I was battling some mental health, and I was I just need to go to the park and cry and release it, drink water. Someone had mentioned to me when you drink water, so it's in my brain permanently, just reset, surrender, whatever it is that I have no control over, and try my best when I wake up tomorrow. And it could be someone smiling at me. It could be a comment. It could be, the dog park yesterday. I find when my perspective is a lot less what I can't control and what when you go through years of not wanting to live, it's honestly a blessing now because I've already survived my worst day. And so I can be grateful for, touching a tree yesterday. I walked out and just touched a tree. I was like, I just need to touch a tree. Speak to me, and it's I can laugh and not take things so seriously because I think, coming from places of darkness. But yeah, I think that answered the question.
I think it's a great answer.
Thank you.
Because from a cultural perspective, we always talk about how important our elder relatives are, which are the mineral, the plant, and the animal world. And they are older than us. And they love us unconditionally. They support us unconditionally. And all of our senses, right?
Yes.
Visually, it's very relaxing to be in green spaces. Audibly, it's very relaxing to hear natural sounds, touch, hugging a tree. Tree hugging is not crazy behavior. It's connected behavior because we know they transform.
If anyone hasn't done it, go do it. And then you'll
hug
understand.
A tree.
You'll just get it.
And they hug you back.
They do.
My sister taught me that they all have their own names too. She was a seer. So I was like, what? This is so cool.
That's amazing.
But I think going into natural spaces when you spend a lot of time in human design spaces as a creative person, it can get a little bit, I don't know, maybe claustrophobic.
That's how I was feeling this weekend, to be honest. I'm not from here. I was a little homesick, and just kind of oh my gosh. But I find also too, when you're in a space like that, you have to, sometimes emotions are lies, right? So I'm or a lot of the time they're not real. It's saying, don't go outside, just lay in bed all day. Well, knowing luckily I'm pretty trained where I'm I don't feel like doing this, but I'm going to go do this. And that's that little push of just going out, even though I didn't want to. And then I feel better, right? And I think with mental health or people that struggle with things, it's I believed my emotions and they overpowered me forever. So therefore, I could not, go do the things I wanted to do because I was held back by my mind. And I find it was a pretty dark place, but knowing now that I can pray, I can meditate, I can go outside, and I can just allow the feelings.
Have options.
To, yes,
there's lots.
There's so many, right?
Yeah,
and
there's not just one way. Everybody thinks there's one way. There's multiple
How many
ways.
of us are here, right? We're all different. There's always going to be a different experience.
So you're singing.
Yeah, singing is.
You are speaking.
Yes.
What else are you doing?
Oh man. What else do? I do mentorship and workshops for youth, usually when I'm doing keynote speaking.
So very youth-centric, very youth-focused.
Yeah, yes, very
choice.
Much so, honestly, I think I have a lot of aunties that are some of my fans. Like they're like probably like 40s, 50s, 30s. They're amazing too. I'm headlining a show in Vancouver August 9th. I headlined a Indigenous festival in New Mexico. So I have fans out there. My most favorite thing is performing with my band, and just like there's no other feeling in the world. I don't know how to explain it. It's just something I've dreamed of doing since in that room when I was 6 years old. And
so no shyness once you're on the stage.
No, I call it my monsters. So it's like, it's funny. I was at the International Indigenous Music Summit, and I did tour arrangements. It's very I had all the arrangements done for my show. It was just like, I finally have a touring show, which I'm very proud of.
So you have a lot of control on how and what you do and how it's presented.
Yes, I'm the CEO. I don't allow, I've learned the hard way a lot of times, but I don't feel I will take up space, and I will like we were talking about, I will say what I need. And I the first time I ever said no to someone, I remember I was like, I'll never forget that moment, because I thought I owed everyone everything, but really I don't owe anyone anything if it's going to be like negative toward me and my mind, body, soul, spirit. Right. So when I got off the stage, I was like social anxiety, right? Everyone's coming up to me, and I'm just like this little like, hi. But on stage, it's like, whoa, what was that? So
you need a decompression moment though after you give so much.
Oh yeah, it's a lot.
It's your heart and soul literally that's coming out.
Yes.
When you're in your passion, when you're in your element. I did
run upstairs, and I was like hyperventilating, sweating. And I just took like 10 minutes. I'm like, okay, gotta go out there.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Good. But yeah, no, it's that's very important too. I think that's something that I'm happy you touched on that, because there is a come down of what you love doing, especially it's like the most natural high. And I do get very depressed. So I know that that's what it is. Just the come down of like those frequencies and doing what you love. And I'll do a lot of self-care. I'll have my people around me, because I've been in situations where I had to travel alone. And after being around youth and getting to sing for them and hearing their stories, and then I'm going to an empty hotel room alone. Yeah. It's very, very weird. And
and how do you shut it down? Yeah. How do you shut it off? Because they'll come and share things maybe they never shared with anybody else. Mm-hmm. Or, you see the hope, and sometimes I think we even see ourselves reflected in them. I heard an elder say that we can only see what we are.
Ooh, that's so true.
And it's hard sometimes, because some of what we see is like not good.
It's not the real reality of it, right? Yeah, it's our traumas and our things that we haven't maybe not looked at yet, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
I don't like to speak after I've been doing a long jaunt of things.
Totally.
I like silence.
Yes.
And I don't play any music.
Sometimes.
Sometimes?
Sometimes I need silence, but very rarely.
I love silence.
I'm on that journey to find that peace, because to me, peace, I boredom and peace, right? Like, it's like when you grow up in chaos, I'm like, I'm bored, but no, I'm really just at peace. But to me, it's very uncomfortable feeling, because I've never felt that. Like I do now in little moments, and I'm like, okay. But sometimes I'll be driving and find it 45 minutes later, I'm like, that's really sweet. Like I was just in the present moment, not thinking about anything. What a blessing.
Driving's my cathartic space.
I miss driving so much. I can't wait to go back to Alberta and get in my vehicle.
Don't you drive a lot?
I drive everywhere. Yeah. My car, for a long time, I just got a new car, but that car was the only consistent thing in my life for like 3 years. So that was my subconscious safe place, just go sit in there and drive. And it was like, okay, I can get on to the next part of my day now. I'm regulated. So yeah, I love driving too.
What do you do for a hobby? Do you have time for hobbies?
I kind of organically made my hobbies how I get paid. So, I was a part of the InPath program where it was over 2 years ago now, where they gave us a little bit of a grant money to put toward anything that we wanted. And I was kind of, I had an album out. My EP was coming out. I had some collabs, one with Matt Mack, who's a blind Indigenous rapper. He's absolutely incredible. And so I asked for stuff to make merch. So I went on this journey. It took about 6 months. And it was the first time, like, after that self-awareness journey where I actually finished something like where it was very hard. I set up the printer, the heat press, the vinyl, and I made.
You literally handmade it.
Yes, I literally make all my own merch myself, and
gosh,
it's the best thing ever. Like, especially personalizing stuff for fans. Like, I had a woman that had chemotherapy and couldn't come to a show, so I surprised her at her chemo appointment, and I put like Deadly Auntie in her name, and now we're like family, right? Like, I'm like, so it's cool that I get to personalize. I love personalizing things for people. So I've kind of made that a hobby. I also have my podcast, Sky Talks.
Amazing. On Spotify, iTunes.
It's everywhere. Yeah. I just have one episode out right now, but I have a bunch filmed that are to be out when I have a moment to breathe. But like,
so let's talk about your career, your music career. How long have you been in the public spotlight?
I would say officially 2021 is when it kind of
COVID.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, COVID was a very beautiful time for me. It's very weird. My partner was still alive. We had a house, and I was actually in school to finish my social work. And and I started working at a halfway house for women that were incarcerated while doing school full time. Then I went to it was like crazy. Looking back, I'm like, how did I do that? I'm like, weird. Anyways.
You didn't sleep.
I had, I just started putting self-love and like love into myself, and like
so common.
Yeah.
We as Indigenous women, we put our finger in a million pots.
It's so validating to hear that, because I'm like, oh my gosh.
We all do it. We overextend ourselves because there's so much that can be done by us, for us, and we know how to do it.
Yeah. And I might have a little bit of control issues. Like, I'm like, I don't want to give my money away to like a merch like wholesaler. I want to make it myself. And it was to prove to myself that I could do it. And then,
and why not?
Yeah, exactly.
And why not?
Fun.
Entrepreneurial rise for Indigenous women. 80% of the Indigenous entrepreneurs in this country are women. Yeah. So we're boss.
We are, right? And it's such a weird feeling. Like, it's like, well, if not me, who? Like, if I don't believe in myself, and who's going to, and it was kind of like, the public eye has been, to me, I already kind of, I don't see it as that. Like, I think people are like, how do you cry online? Or how do you do this online? Or how do you talk about these things online? And I think back to when you were saying, your truth, no one can tell me who I am and who I'm not. And so like, really knowing like I am not the opinion of someone that does not know me. So it does not bug me when, if I didn't know who I was, it's going to bug me. If I'm hiding something, it's going to bug me. But if I'm like, okay, sir, like, I don't like, at the end of the day, it's like the more you get in the public eye, I think there's more opinions and more judgments.
Yeah,
I experience a lot of lateral violence, but you know what? I know that, again, our intergenerational trauma has nothing to do with me. And, I do pray for those people, or I do comment, like, I'm sending you love, because if, like, how much are you hurting if you need to make that comment or that, it's very freeing feeling knowing that,
taking back your power.
Taking it back. Yeah.
So we're going back. You released in 2021 your first album.
So it was actually the CBC Searchlight is how I got on the map. So I had,
Searchlight.
My first song was called On My Own, and it was actually about intergenerational trauma. I had my cousin in it, did Fancy Shawl. I had a hoop dancer.
So you had a video.
A video that, before I even had one song out, it went into the Searchlight, the video, and it wasn't released until after I made Top 100. And then I had a management team, a publicist, a stylist, all these things. And then I went independent. And my debut album came out March 1st, 2023, I think, or 2024, in about years. So now I have my second EP coming out August 15th. So
what are you most proud of?
Oh, man.
You can pick a couple things, but there's always something that kind of sends you in that kind of upward zoom of, I'm living the life that I want to live. Yeah,
my dad, he always said, like, I'll forever remain your biggest fan. He's my best friend. I love that man. And he would always say, like, you haven't even reached your greatest potential. But I wrote a song for them, and there's a music video called Never Gave Up on Me, because they never abandoned me through my years of struggles. And so I have a video of my mom and dad. They're in it. Pictures of us as a baby. But when I showed them, it's online, you could find it. My dad, I showed them, like, so they're watching the video, and then I was filming their reaction, and my dad started crying, and it was a beautiful feeling. Cry. Yeah, it's just like, just to know that they don't need to worry about me anymore, and that I used to think it kept me stuck in dark places when I looked at it as enabling, but that was my mindset, those traumas showing me when really, like, I could have been dead, and they never gave up on me. They stuck it through, and like, you know, I've been through it on the other side with previous partners, and it's the hardest thing when you witness someone where you don't know if they're gonna, you know, addiction's a very serious thing, and mental illness. And so it's
sweeping across the country.
Yeah, it's everywhere. Here in Toronto, there's so many just sleeping on the ground. And I'm like, oh, like.
Yeah, we have a huge homeless population here in Toronto. But I think it's the same across the country, because we hear a lot about Vancouver and how brutal it is for homeless there. And then we hear the statistics of Indigenous homeless people there, and they make up the largest percentage in Winnipeg, Toronto, Vancouver. And, you know, these are all, I think, outcomes of, colonization
100%.
And the colonial way in which the country continues to be run. And as sovereign citizens in this country, you know, we push back. We push back in the arts. We push back in our ceremonies. We push back with our truth. And I really, I really appreciate how in your younger generation, the strength of our ancestors is very prominent.
Yes.
You have the word clothing to say, no. You show up at protests. You create movements. I'm thinking about Idle No More and how powerful that was. And just the collectivity of the way we come together. It's never a solitary person. Maybe it might be somebody who starts it. I think about grandmother Josephine Mandam, the Great Water Walker. She started a movement that spread across the world. But our stories are underrepresented or told from a skewed angle. And when we come back in and say, no, this is actually this is what it looks like. This is what it felt like. This is how I'm going to share it through poetry, through music, through arts. Do you write your own music?
Yes.
All of it?
Yes. Yeah. I just started actually with the CVC Reverie having co-writes, which felt very weird for me because it felt, but like so honored that I'm on that venture. But yeah, I usually, all my music stems from an event or a motion or something I experienced. So I have my producer on speed dial just because I'm like, I need this right now. I need to write about this. So like, then I'll go in the studio and write all the songs. Like I have one.
Do you have to write in the studio?
It's usually just happens that way. I find because I'll create the beat from scratch and then I write. I have notes and voice memos where I'm like, I hear this, and then I'll bring that. I'm starting to release, just like have people I'm working with virtually and like demos. So now I'll just send it off. But my notes, I write all the time. But for all the stuff out to date has been in the studio, and like the process of like creating the beat, hear what melody I hear, what I need to get off my chest and my heart to like the world.
So what I know this is like very, I don't know. What genre do you sing in that you're most comfortable with? And what genre would you like to maybe expand into?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So I technically on a, like, you know, when I upload my music or when I'm on SiriusXM, I am known as popular music. So pop. I don't want to be labeled in a genre eventually. You know, there's a lot of artists that I look up to that will release a country song or a rap song or this or this or this. And I look at like lyrics are my favorite part about music. So the story behind it and what are they saying? What is
good
the
music
message?
Is a story, right?
Yeah. So R&B I've kind of dabbled in. My dad would love for me to go to blues and jazz. They're like, your voice would do so good. And I'm like, okay, I'll look into that. But I usually just write based on like real experience. But,
who's your mentor? Who do you look up to?
Oh my gosh, I've had so many, like personally in my career. Kaylee Cardinal was one that really supported me when I left my management, and she kind of showed me that like, no, this is wrong. This is not right. And like she gave me mentorship on the industry and like how I should. And that was also on my healing journey of like finding out who I was. Yeah. David Hodges, who manages Starseeker Music. He's my unofficial manager. He's always there for me when I need support. I'm so indebted to that man, even though he would never want anything. He just wants to help Indigenous artists. He's incredible. I look up to, like, on a music level.
Yeah.
Jessie Murph, she just released her debut album. She's someone I followed on TikTok. Her music and her lyrics.
Are you on TikTok?
Yes. And that's my favorite platform. I feel so safe on there. Jessa Sky with an extra Y is my jessasky.com. You can find everything on there.
You can drop all of the spaces and places.
Send me a DM. Listen to my music. Come on my podcast if you're in Alberta. If you're not, I'll figure that out. But also Demi Lovato's story of, like, really, like, her pain and what she went through. I have a lot of relatability to her story on a very, like, soul level. Taylor Swift got me through high school. I know that sounds crazy. I don't really listen to her much anymore, but I got to meet her 2 days before my high school graduation. And
you got to meet her?
I got to meet her. Yeah. So she's never charged for a meet and greet. Her mom will find people in the audience, and she came up to me, and it was, my first attempt to take my life was in grade 10, and her music got me through. And it was just a really cool concept to know she doesn't even know who I am, and she's saving my life right now. So she asked me, like, can I get a picture with you? And I'll never forget that core memory, because I felt so seen and important. So now every time when I meet someone, I'm like, can I get a picture with you? And I'll spend, like, they're my family. Like, that's what keeps me going. Like, like, we're just humans floating on a rock on this experience. I'm no better or worse than no one. And it's like, the connection, we don't connect to perfection, right? We connect to vulnerability. So it's just so cool.
So she's human, right?
Yeah,
you
exactly.
Had a human to human moment.
That's it. Yeah. It's so cool. Yeah.
I think we should all have mentors.
Yes.
I think we should all have somebody to look up to and inspire us. I know when I started public speaking, because I didn't see many Indigenous people, I wasn't sure who to be. So I was trying to use kind of word phrases and images that I saw people I looked up to. Yeah. And it felt weird. It didn't feel like me. And then I just said, I'm going to take a leap of faith. And today I'm just going to show up the way I like my makeup, or the way I like my hair, or
honoring yourself and your ancestors.
And speaking the way that I actually speak.
Yeah, no one else, you can't be anyone else, and no one else is you. And you are one of the most authentic, like, deep-hearted, like, you can feel your soul and your energy. And when I met you, I was like, oh my gosh, like, who is this woman?
Thank you.
Yeah, no, seriously. And I'm not even just saying that because it's a lot of spaces in our community sometimes aren't it's never been the experience I've had with you.
It's not always safe.
Yes.
I mean, let's be honest.
Yes.
But I love our communities. I love the diversity. Yeah. I love all the ages. I love the explosion of public presence and sharing. It's amazing. That we're doing individually and collectively. Yeah. And I love the way that we're intersecting, as a ancestral knowledge keeper and a traditional grandmother. I never know. I don't do any research on anybody. I want to meet you as you. Yeah. And if you're accomplished, great. And if you're not, it's great still. Because if you're a good human being, that's what I want to meet. Yes. And if you're not, how can I help you?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Sometimes I'm on that journey sometimes, but I this is why it's always it's a journey. You're never at the end, Well,
you just said that music helped you, and so your music is now helping. Yeah. So what else do you want to do? What haven't you tried yet that you want to do?
Oh, man.
Maybe pick a singer that you'd like to sing with that you haven't sung with yet, even though you're A-type and you like to control everything.
Yeah.
Collabs are new, and you need to. Collabs are awesome.
I love collabs.
We love collabs.
Yes.
As listeners, we love it.
I do have a few collabs coming out. So, Sarah Kay, she's amazing. Check her out. She helped me write a song. We're actually going to finish it today. Big Tones, his name's Anthony. Part of the Reverie. I've done a song with him. I would love, this is so random, but to do a song with Russ. I love you, Russ.
Put it out there. Just so put it out there.
Yeah. And, oh my gosh, Jessie Murph, Lou Kala.
So you got a whole list.
I have a whole list.
So you need to be singing for the rest of your life.
I will be. Yeah, I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet here, even though some days are hard. I have a bigger purpose than just myself. So
singing's going to be it, or is there something else you want to do?
Singing is it for me. And I think also, luckily, I've been able to do this full time, and I'm not just known as a singer. Again, like I do keynote speaking, or I have my podcast. I just want to connect with as many people as I can. And I do want to tour the world, which will happen. I didn't think I'd even make it here. So the fact that I've already made it to where I am, it shows that, you know, like, I'm too in it already. I'm not going to give up on this.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm here. I'm on this planet to do this. Yes. So
it's good to know your purpose.
I do.
Right?
It was for so many years.
And
not
your
knowing
passion
it.
goes as soon as you say that. I do know my purpose.
Yes, I do know. I do know it's to help people and just share a space with people that will listen to my story and connect with them as well and make a living doing it, which is so cool.
It.
Yeah.
I think as a young person, finding your purpose through your passion, because young people are passionate about so many things.
Yeah.
But what really makes your heart sing is the road that you should travel down. And, and it's never like a straight road.
No.
Yours was.
Yeah, it's that's how you can feel, right?
And that's everybody's story.
Yes.
Who gets to the space and place of actually breathing life into their passion.
Yeah, that's so true.
Do you have dreams to be a mom, raise a family?
Man.
Do you think that's in your future?
I'm not opposed to it. You know, I've kind of already experienced like the love of my life and, you know, pregnancy, loss, all those things. And I think I trust in Creator. I trust in, you know, my path in life. And I just know staying true to me. I feel like I've had so many experiences where men try to dim my light and they don't like the confident woman. They don't like I'm married to this career. I'm married to this life to help others. And I think with that sometimes comes self-sacrifice of having that husband or that family. And I know when I do find him, he will never make me like, he'll understand. But as of right now, I mean, of course I would love to have children, you know, I think those are they're the big, but I also have my, like, you know, a couple of that rescue youth I work with, I call her my daughter, you know, like I'm not legally her mom, but, I would do anything for her. So sometimes
we do that in our culture, though. We have these kind of informal adoptions of somebody that we bring in, and that's why we use the term auntie and uncle, and you know, those terms are not necessarily genetic.
Totally,
they're just these terms of respect and the way we swoop people in. We have a spidey sense. You probably have the spidey sense for those who are in need.
Yeah,
and you just zero in on them. It's like, come here.
Yeah.
I have been in circles where I can just feel that this person just needs to feel like they belong. And I'll just put my arm around them.
Yeah. Your hugs are the best. She will hug you for a long time. She knows.
Yeah. And I'm sure based on your background, you have that spidey sense as well. Absolutely. Is your music for, I know it's definitely youth-centered. Mm-hmm. But is your music solely drawn on kind of, you know, your life walking experience, or do you stretch sometimes and just try to tell stories? As Indigenous people in this country, I feel like our stories are just not heard enough.
100%.
And through song, because songs are forever, right? People remember songs, and you know, a good chorus or catchy bit of the verse that people sing. You'll hear it in commercials, and I get earworms, you know, it's like just the beat of it or whatever it is.
Gets stuck in your head. Yeah.
But I always think when you're in a genre, when you're following your passion, like how can you stretch that a little bit so that you can be a bit more multifaceted?
Yeah, totally. I'm on this new venture of doing a collab album. So like First? You know, I rapped in one of the songs I did with Junior T, who's Jesse Reyes' DJ. Also just like such a
rapper.
Cool, I'm trying rap, sing. You know, I wrote a song for our people. It's called We're Not Lost, Moya Kawasinyo, which means we're not lost in Cree. So I got
You did it in the language?
The chorus. Yeah, I sang that in the ad libs. Took me a long time to pronounce it right. But the music video kind of went a little, no, I wouldn't say viral, but there just so happened to be missing and murdered Indigenous women Two-Spirit photo shoots. So there's like the showing like the complete genocide and like the epidemic of our people going missing. And I showed that in the music video. I had a drumming band, Abraham Lake Singers, that were in it. It was their first song ever. And they get more gigs than me now. They're amazing. They're actually all like, it's like mush, like their grandpa And then all the way down 5 generations.
You're lifting people up along with you.
Yes. Yeah. I don't gatekeep my information. I don't gatekeep what I've learned and the mistakes I've made in this career. You know, I went through all that to help the next person because it's so weird that everyone, you know, they don't want everyone to have success. And I mean, I get it. Sometimes I get jealous too, like full transparency, but it's a competitive world. The music world's very and diminishing. It's harmful. We know all about the harmful side. I mean, we just have to look at. I have strong boundaries. Don't try to. It ain't gonna work these days. But I try to show my culture through my outfits and through my experiences.
So glamorous.
Thank you.
You're very glamorous.
My cookum Clara made this. She's my stylist. But so she'll make all my outfits for me. She's incredible.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Not my real cookum, but she's called Cookum Clara. I never got to meet my cookum, but she's such a beautiful soul. I love her. So I try to support her. And she knows exactly what I need before I know. I'm like, I need this. And she's like, I got you. But
here you go.
Yeah, no, I'm open to any type of music, really. Like I used to think like, oh my gosh, it won't be authentic if I'm singing with or if I'm letting someone kind of co-write with me. But what I realized was like, more energy, more brains, more talent, all in it. Like you can make something so beautiful that can relate to so many other people.
Well, I think the genre kind of idea that music companies have operated by is struggling.
Yeah,
because there's so many crossover artists now, and certain domains that were considered for this type of person only, we're seeing.
Yeah, our independent artists are taking over. We don't need the labels anymore, okay?
Technology supports you and enables you to do that, without hesitation.
Totally. I think social media is a really good tool, and I always say that when I'm like interviewed, because I think it's what we use it for. And I wouldn't be able to reach so many people and vice versa if I didn't have that tool. It can be a negative space, but I choose what I allow and what I don't allow, right? So if I'm not in a good space that day, I won't even turn my phone on. I'm like, I'm not going to look because I know I'm not in my window of tolerance to handle it. So again, it's like, it's a beautiful tool. And
you've really gotten to know yourself.
Yeah. It's such a blessing. I find
socials, I don't know, it's complex. It's for your age group, it's just so natural. But for me, I'm just like, I didn't understand that. You
kind of have an incredible podcast. Like, what do you mean?
This is my humble little offering.
This is amazing.
To really just hold space for the uniqueness of who we are.
Yes.
And I don't want to be slotted into one thing.
Yeah.
I want to be able to just explore everything because life is not a straight line. It's very... organic, and what are we doing and how have we changed and what are we learning and what are we striving towards? I want to know everything.
Yes.
But we have, a short time frame to just talk, real talk, and not just, this surface is who I am, the artist. Who are you as the human? I care about that.
Yeah, me too, with people.
At the end of the day, when the career maybe is starting to rest and you are slowing down, it's you.
Yeah. So
how have you nurtured self? And, how will you enjoy yourself? As a public speaker, I definitely have kind of parameters around which I operate because ethics and integrity are everything. You can't sacrifice
who you are behind
that.
The camera, who you are. Yeah, that's the most important thing to me too.
Everything's recorded today. Somebody's recording you. So you can't lie.
Yeah,
you have to be who you
And if
really
you do,
are.
People know you're lying. You're usually the last person to know, aka me years ago, that everyone knew I was lying. I was the last to know, and it's kind of funny, but that I can laugh about it now because I'm not that person anymore. But
and we evolve.
It's a journey. We do evolve.
We evolve. We're not static either.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's interesting. I wonder in 10 years when I get to talk to you, what will have happened, where you have been, what awards you've won, what travels you've taken. Where would you like to travel to the most?
I'm traveling a lot lately, which is like such a blessing. I'm trying to remain grateful. But after this, I leave here the end of July. I go to be a bridesmaid in my cousin's wedding in Ponoka. And then I go to Vancouver to headline a festival. And then I'm moving to LA for 3 months. So I can't really talk about why, but it's an amazing opportunity. And I'm doing it solely for like the little girl that was once me that
2025, Jessa
It's crazy.
Sky.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see where it goes. Yeah, I have so I was there earlier just before coming here and I was like, this is crazy. I was like, so you have to really stay like in your you have to remember your why and your purpose, and don't allow people to try to change you. So luckily, like, I have a good support team there, and I'm like, let's go aho is what I say. I'm like, let's go aho, like, let's bring it on. I mean, let's go. I'm excited for it. So yeah.
So if the listeners, not if, the listeners will want to follow you, where are they going to find you?
Oh my gosh, I'm everywhere. You can't, if you Google me, I'm there. But jessasky.com. And
that's your website?
That's my website. Yeah. And then my Instagram,
all your socials are
my
there.
Socials, everything's there.
Insta, TikTok.
TikTok.
Facebook.
Yeah. Facebook is actually, I just made my personal public profile, which kind of regretting that. No, I'm just kidding. I don't regret anything, but it's Jessa Sky with an extra Y. So JessaSkyY. But you can find me everywhere. Yeah. And YouTube is Jessa Sky.
Is that your stage name or is that your actual birth name?
So my birth name is actually Jessica Valentine Sky. I don't want to say my last name for privacy, but my mom is a cardinal. But I have my dad's last name. But Valentine Sky is my middle name. So Jessa Sky kind of became... It just sounded right when my team was trying to think of
sounds awesome.
Names. Yeah.
And it's easy to remember.
Yeah, Jessa Sky. Yeah. So, yeah.
It's like you. It's been amazing talking to you.
Thank you for having me. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm so honored to have met you because, like I said, you are really like the real deal. And I like how you are just a vessel, but you're just so unconditional, love your energy. And I just, it was healing, and it is healing being around you. So, yeah.
Well, thank you for that. But this is not about me. It's all about you.
No, we're both the same. We're like, it's not about us. Like, but I appreciate you having me.
Miss Jessa Sky has been an absolutely awesome guest. And on Ancestral Voices We Belong, we're always looking to hear your story and find out what you're doing and how you're helping to interact with the world around you. And it's my hope that this conversation has been inspiring to you and that you'll follow her and you'll support her and you'll buy her music.
Yes, please. Come support a show or just comment something.
Are you on Spotify?
Everywhere,
and iTunes? So you can say everywhere, but sometimes audiences need the specifics. So you
Amazon,
need to say the words.
Amazon Music, Snapchat, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, Deezer. I don't even know what that is, but literally any type of streaming platform, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, like, I even have a LinkedIn. My team runs that for me because I don't know how to do it, but grateful to be here.
You're trying to cross all the T's and dot all the I's and be everywhere all the time.
It's a full-time job. But
forever.
Forever. I have a song called Forever. That was kind of cool.
Forever. Do you have a favorite song that you've written?
Probably the one that just came out, Grieving. It was very
deeply personal.
Deeply personal, yeah. And then I have a bunch of, like, my EP's coming out August 15th. But
what's the EP called?
It's called Look at Us Now, Volume 2. And because my first EP was Look at Me Now, kind of all the things that I had overcome. Like, look at me now, I'm here. And then Look at Us Now is like the second part of it. There's 6 tracks. And it's like, look at us now. Like us, like the people that have supported me, the people that follow me, like the people that's like, we're here now together. So it's kind of like a community, like just, the native things. Like we're
here. So you choose the titles?
I choose everything. I'm my own.
Because you're independent. Independent queen.
Every song, every track ends with IN. So like sipping, healing, grieving, dreaming, loving, burning. Yeah, it was a weird process, but yeah.
It was deliberate.
It was deliberate. It was the first time I had a body of work that was actually like about the way down to like which numbers I'm going to do, which song's going to come in. It's actually like a discography. I can't say that word. But of the events from when that was the first song I wrote to the last song in the last 2 years of my life, really. So.
Yeah. It takes a long time to make an album and you will have evolved since then, but yet you have to perform those.
Yes, I love performing these songs.
Is there like a disjointedness or a disconnect when you have to go back and pull up those feelings to be able to sing that song? There
was that for a while, actually, but then my musical director and like my team was like, and especially when I met people after the show, it was like, everyone's different. So when they hear a song, they're not hearing my experience. They're relating it to their own experience, right? So there is some songs like I'm like, this is kind of boring to sing now. Like, and they're like, well, we did the whole opening track is called Facade. And I'm like, that's so long ago, y'all. Can we switch it up? But it's also a lot of money and like investments. So I just love performing all the slow songs, and I actually prefer an intimate audience where I can talk to them. But my touring show is like when you're going, let's think of going to Rogers, you know, like it's very minimal talking. But I'm always growing, and I'm always willing to like be uncomfortable for a bit. And then
we love artists who are real. We love artists who are real. You have been the realest of the real today. So we have to bring it to a close. But she's going to come back again.
I will be
We're
back.
going to come back and revisit.
Yes.
So thank you so much for joining us at Ancestral Voices We Belong. We could not do this without the sponsorship of the town of Aurora.
Thank you, Aurora.
Designed a plume. Who created this beautiful logo.
Beautiful.
The Wholesome Conscious, who continues to support us in our public events with good, nutritious food. And we're powered by Neighbor Studio, and they do an awesome job. So thank you so much to each and every one of you. If you're interested in sponsorships, you can certainly look at sponsorships and talk to us directly. We're on YouTube, Spotify, and iTunes. I'm not great at uploading, but I'm going to get better. And I ask you to like, follow, and comment so that we can...
And subscribe.
Oh, and subscribe.
That's the most important.
Subscribe so that we can get on the map a little bit more rootedly.
Yes.
Miigwech, Bamampi, Gigwamin Minwat. We see you again.